Welcome, story lovers, to another edition of Legends Untold. I'm your host, Whimsical Amy, and today we ride into battle with a woman who flipped the script on history. Yes, another woman. She body slammed tradition and left even the fiercest warriors eating dust. She was a Mongol princess, a military commander, and an undefeated wrestler who turned marriage proposals into combat trials and then walked away with 10,000 horses and zero husbands. In a world where power wore beards and rode with a sword, she dared to do both, but better. You've never heard her name in your history books, probably, but after this, you will not forget it. This is the untold legend of Khutulun, the warrior who could have been Khan. In the late 13th century, when the Mughal Empire spanned from the Sea of Japan to the Danube River, a warrior princess galloped through the steppes. Her enemies in retreat and her family both awed and uneasy. Her name was Khutulun, and she was born for war. Now, Khutulun was not just any Mongol woman, she was the great-great-granddaughter of Genghis Khan and the only daughter of Kaidu Khan, a powerful ruler who challenged Kublai Khan for control of the Mongol world. Now, in a society where men ruled and women were pawns in political marriages, Khutulun broke every rule. She rode beside her father in battle, not behind him. She led troops, she fought in full armor, and most astonishingly, she wrestled. Yes, hand wrestling. Khutulun issued a dare. Any man who wished to marry her had to defeat her in a wrestling match. If he lost, he forfeited 100 horses. By some accounts, she amassed 10,000 horses and no husband. The princess flung noblemen, princes, and warriors to the ground one after another, until the pile of would-be suitors and their surrendered horses stretched across the steppes like a monument to her strength. To the Mongols, wrestling was sacred. To be a wrestler was to be powerful, respected, and feared. And Khutulun wasn't just strong, she was undefeatable. And that was a problem. Her father Kaidu believed Khutulun was the strongest of all his children, strong enough to succeed him as Khan. But Kaidu had 14 sons. He wanted her to lead, but the Mongol nobility balked. Like a woman, a Khan, no way. Now, a Khan was what we call the king in the Mongol Empire, okay? Now, no matter her bloodline, her skill, her loyalty, no matter that she was the fiercest fighter on the field, they will not follow her. Then came the whisper campaigns. Stories began to circulate that she was unwomanly, that she was too proud, too dangerous, and then the ultimate blow to her independence. One day, Khutulun married. Now, the details are murky. Some say it was a man of her choosing, a warrior she respected. Others claim she was forced into marriage by the court, an act designed to strip her of her power and claim over succession. What is certain is she never wrestled for suitors again. Khutulun's story faded from official Mongol histories, but it lived on in legend. The 13th century Venetian traveler Marco Polo, who likely saw her with his own eyes, wrote about a Mongol princess who rode into battle as if she were a man and could defeat any warrior. Later, European writers twisted her story into that of Turandot, a fictional icy princess who challenged suitors with riddles and had them executed when they failed. In reality, Khutulun was not a killer of men, unless they met her on the battlefield, that is. She died around 1306, just after her father's death, and her political star faded quickly. The Mongol world she might have ruled fractured into warring factions after her death. History, written by those who refused her crown and prestige, erased her from her story, basically. But on the steppes of Central Asia, they will tell tales of the woman who built an empire of horses, who fought like a lion, and who could have won the crown of Genghis Khan. Now, in the end, Khutulun didn't become Khan. History bowed to tradition, not talent. But her legacy rides on, quietly, defiantly, in every woman who refuses to shrink, every fighter who steps into the ring on her own terms. They tried to write her out of history, but today we just wrote her back in. I'm Whimsical Amy, and this was Legends Untold, where forgotten stories find their voice. Until next time, stay curious and keep digging. Bye.